What do you know about chromatic harp built from Jean-Henri Pape? Jean-Henri Pape was a French harp maker who was active in the 19th century. He was known for his high-quality chromatic harps, which were harps with pedals that allowed the player to change the key of the instrument while playing. Pape's chromatic harps were highly sought after by professional musicians and were considered some of the finest instruments of their time. In addition to his work as a harp maker, Pape was also an inventor, and he is credited with a number of innovations in the field of harp making. He is remembered today as an important figure in the history of harp making, and his chromatic harp is still used by some performers today. What do you know about chromatic harp whole tone system? The chromatic harp whole tone system is a method of organizing the strings on a chromatic harp in order to facilitate playing in different keys. In the whole tone system, the strings are crossed and arranged in whole tone intervals, meaning that each string is separated from the next by a distance of a whole tone. This allows the player don't use the pedals, in fact is easily change the pitch of the strings and play in different keys without having to retune the instrument. The whole tone system is one of several systems that have been used on chromatic harps, and it is generally considered to be more flexible and versatile than some of the other systems. Is the chromatic harp 6/6 good to play jazz in confront of pedal harps? Pedal harps, which are also known as concert harps, are traditional harps that have pedals that allow the player to change the pitch of certain strings while playing. While pedal harps are very popular and are used in many different types of music, they can be more difficult to play jazz on than some other instruments, such as the chromatic harp. One of the main challenges of playing jazz on a pedal harp is that it can be difficult to play in different keys. On a traditional harp, the strings are tuned to a specific key, and the player must retune the instrument in order to play in a different key. This can be time-consuming and can be a hindrance to playing jazz, which often involves frequent key changes. In addition, pedal harps do not have as wide a range of notes as some other instruments, which can make it difficult to play certain melodies and chord progressions. Finally, the pedals on a pedal harp can be difficult to use, particularly for players who are not accustomed to using them, which can be a challenge when playing fast-paced, complex music like jazz. Overall, while it is certainly possible to play jazz on a pedal harp, it can be more easily than playing on some other instruments, such as the chromatic harp. How understand which harp is better to play jazz? There is no one best harp for playing jazz, as different harps have different characteristics and can be better suited to different playing styles and musical preferences. However, there are a few factors that can be helpful to consider when deciding which harp to use for playing jazz. 1. Range. Jazz often involves complex melodies and chord progressions that may require a wide range of notes. Look for a harp with a wide range of notes, such as a chromatic harp or a pedal harp with a high number of strings. 2. Key flexibility. Jazz often involves frequent key changes, so a harp that is easy to play in different keys can be helpful. Chromatic harps are particularly well suited to this, as they have end pedals that allow the player to easily change the pitch of certain strings with hands. 3. Pliability. Jazz is often a fast-paced, complex style of music that requires precise fingerwork and good hand-eye coordination. Look for a harp that is comfortable and easy to play, with smooth action and responsive strings. Ultimately, the best harp for playing jazz will depend on your personal playing style and musical preferences. It may be helpful to try out a few different harps to see which one feels the most comfortable and expressive to you. Speak me about technical differences between pedal harp and chromatic harp whole tone system. Pedal harps and chromatic harps are both types of harps, but they have some important technical differences. 1. Pedals. Pedal harps have pedals that are used to change the pitch of certain strings while playing. These pedals are operated by the feet, and they allow the player to play in different keys without having to retune the instrument. Chromatic harps no have pedals, but they are operated by the hands rather than the feet. 2. Number of pedals. Pedal harps typically have 7 pedals, while chromatic harps no have pedals. A chromatic harp determines the number of keys that can be played in without retuning the instrument with a good hand technique. 3. String arrangement. On a pedal harp, the strings are arranged in a triangular shape, with the highest pitched strings at the top and the lowest pitched strings at the bottom. Chromatic harps can have a variety of string arrangements, but the most common is the whole tone system, in which the strings are crossed and arranged in whole tone intervals. 4. Range. Pedal harps typically have a range of about 6.5 octaves, while chromatic harps can have a range of up to 8 octaves. 5. Sound. Pedal harps and chromatic harps have slightly different sounds due to their different string arrangements and the materials they are made of. Pedal harps tend to have a more mellow, rounded sound, while chromatic harps 6 can have a brighter, more vibrant sound.